Not until you hear that.
Oh.
Not until you hear that, you idiot. All right. Let's just go.
Are you sure?
All right, I'll wait until 14. Okay, it's time. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo podcast. So episode 545, the Scolipede podcast. Come on, Brain.
Yeah.
Tell us about Scolipede, please.
With glee. Scolipede is a centipede-like Pokemon that usually stands with the front half of its body raised vertically off the ground. Its segmented body is dark magenta except for its smooth gray underside. Long, slightly bent arms.
It's called an undercarriage.
Watching too much Twin Peaks. Long, slightly bent horns, similar to antennae, extend from its head, as well as an identical pair of horns on its rear. Purple bands decorate these horns, and teardrop-shaped rings of the same color mark each body segment, one on each side of its body. It possesses 4 pairs of short, purple foreclaws on the body segments that make up its neck, which are used to inject poison. I have no idea what I'm reading. The 4 hind legs are longer, thicker, and spaced farther apart. Each hind limb has curved dark gray bands around the middle. Scolipede lives in lush forests. It is very aggressive and will not give up until victorious. This Pokemon chases down enemies with great speed and then attacks relentlessly with its horns until it prevails.
Look at my horns!
Scolipede is number... Oh, God, that's my favorite sound. Is number 545. It is a bug poison-type Pokemon. Its abilities include Poison Point or Swarm. Its hidden ability is Speed Boost. 50-50 male to female ratio, and they are actually 8 feet tall.
I believe it.
And about 440 pounds. So they are big.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
Sure thing.
Hello to everyone in the IRC. Black Cat, Blue Husky, and Ice, and Rob, and Rosalina, and Quaseg, and Trollan, and Porygon, and Alien Boy VA, and Alucard, and Andrio, and Asian Style, Bacon Bits, and a whole bunch of everybody. My Body is Ready, and Skintendo, and Chris 640, and Comp C, and whoever else pops up in here. Thank you for joining us. I see that some of you guys are currently trying to survive. Oh, you're an asshole, cat. Some of you guys are trying to survive the blizzard of 20.
Let me get right
here.
here.
No, we can't do that. Come on, fart face.
Oh,
God damn it! Right as the show starts, he's got to do this shit. Shovel. Yes, some of you trying to survive the blizzard of 2016. I see Skintendo says he's surviving so far. Lots of beer and meat cooking right now, and then he clarified to say the meat is cooking, not the beer.
well, but the meat could be cooking in beer. That's not uncommon.
That's true. And I know Joe Shabadoo's in here, and he's definitely in the storm right now. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but he's like within walking distance of cool things.
Yeah. My Body's Ready says, hello, Blizzard survivors. So, yeah, we're currently getting pummeled by a pretty sizable storm.
We're also getting pummeled by some pretty sizable mugs of cocoa.
Mom Brain set us up with hot cocoa for today's show. So today, yeah, it's just Mom Brain and I because, you know, kind of hard to drive around and, like, what do you think? A foot?
No, it's more than a foot.
18 inches?
Yeah.
And still going strong. Supposed to go all day today until about midnight.
I can't see the highway again.
Alien Boy VA says, already got 20 inches here in D.C., and we're expected to get another foot by the time it's over. It's crazy outside.
Those people have no idea what to do with snow to begin with.
In D.C.?
Well, yeah, they don't get a ton of snow. They panic when there's like a few flakes.
That's stereotyping.
I have an aunt and uncle who live right outside of D.C.
You know, like if you said like California or Florida, yeah, D.C. has experience.
Alien Boy
snow.
VA, tell us, did you have school? Were schools canceled Friday?
Tell
us where.
The important part is that the snow gets all wrapped up tonight because tomorrow's one of the greatest days of the entire year.
It's true.
It's the Royal Rumble.
Which will happen regardless of the snow.
Oh, yes. And I guarantee some people will be here for it. like I said, the snow is supposed to stop tonight at midnight. So hopefully the plows do their thing, and then tomorrow we can get our people over here for some Royal Rumbling.
I'm just really disappointed that I'm not getting a snow day out of this. Like, I'm enjoying a day like stuck inside because of the snow and being snowed in with you and having fun snow snacks and whatnot, but I'm still
Nintendo says, we know what to do. Compsy says, pretty cold here in Florida, too. One of my friends says he actually saw a snowflake. Hello, Mitchy Mouse. He just joined. Joe Shabadoo says, I jogged with 3 dogs today, always on the job. Money, money, money. Ninty Rift is asking, how do you see the podcast? I would tell him, but he's not going to hear me. So hopefully somebody does. Hello, Nintendo Tim. You in the IRC there?
I am going in right now.
You could tell him how he sees the podcast. I don't. Well, never mind. So yeah, that's the story for today. So you're just putting up with me and Mom Brain for today's show. I apologize. I know she's a rough customer. Ugh. Now I got Snapchats from PC, who knows we're doing the podcast. I was just talking to her. I can't look at the Snapchat. I'm using my phone. I use the phone for the IRC. PC, if you're trying to get into the chat, all you have to do is go to GoNintendo.com, and the post for the podcast says click here to join the chat, and that's all there is to it. Well, anyway, those of you who are battling a storm, stay safe and warm, and enjoy this time with family or friends if you have them over, and play some games and just take it easy. You can't go out there, can't do anything. So, well said, Mom Brain. All right, let's get to some news.
I have Blizzard Belch.
This week's, is that like kennel cough? This week's European downloads. Europe got Mario Kart 64 on the Wii U Virtual Console. And just so you know, that does not allow ghost data, because if you were alive during the N64 days and you played it, you would know that the Mario Kart 64 needed the, what was it called? Controller pack to do ghost data, and that's not a function that is mimicked on the Wii U Virtual Console, nor was it a function mimicked on the Wii Virtual Console version of Mario Kart 64. So, disappointing, but nothing different here. It's been a long time coming, but finally The Adventures of Pip comes out on the Wii U eShop in Europe. So that's a pixel platformer, if you're interested in that kind of thing. Also, Life of Pixel is now available, but that's only new for Germany. Other places have had it. So if you're a German listener or a German Nintendo fan, you can look forward to playing Life of Pixel now. Special offers on some stuff. There's a Project Cross Zone 2 demo. I did not play the first one, but I saw mediocre reviews. And from what I've heard, people that have played this one, they're not, it's like more of the same. So I don't know. Try the demo. See what you think. Mom Brain, you're fighting the camera here.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I mean.
Also available is Radio Hammer. Rock the beat with Radio Hammer in this rhythm action romp developed by Arc System Works and Vinyl Lab. Play as the world's most famous super DJs and protect the peace with the power of love and music. Drop the beat on the bad guys as you shuck and jive your way through hordes of morally maligned. Time your strikes to make the world a safer, funkier place with your superior sonic skills and impeccable rhythm. Take down massive villains and fend off furious flashers with groovy tunes and masterful mixes. Mom Brain, what's the name of that game?
I don't know.
That's what I thought. Mocha Mocha Friends.
Something Hammer.
That's part of it.
Project Hammer.
Nope. Moco Moco Friends is available, which has been here for a while, but now available in Europe. And Goosebumps the game.
Ooh.
The walk home from school today is going to be a lot spookier than usual. Your sleepy neighborhood's been overrun by monsters. Werewolves prowl the woods, gnomes roam underfoot, and scarecrows walk at midnight. But these aren't ordinary monsters. They're R.L. Stine's famous Goosebumps monsters, released from the books to wreak havoc. You'll need to use your wits to investigate the surroundings, puzzle out clues, and outsmart the monsters before it's too late. Survive a trek through your neighborhood, unravel the mysteries of the dead house, and sneak through them all after hours. Ooh. Only then can you confront Slappy and stop his plans for revenge. I don't know who the hell Slappy is, but I guess you got to stop him. My body is ready. It says Gersberms. Gersberms. The 3DS themes available include the Mario Hanafuda card theme. Oh boy, that was available until yesterday. So hopefully you got it. Oh no, available as of yesterday. I'm an idiot. Hello, Roth Safi. And also the Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold story theme. Or I should say the Etrian Odyssey Untold 2 story theme. There's the Legend of Dark Witch various themes. Those include the Owl, or I don't know if it's AI or Owl theme, the Clinzy theme, the Papaline theme, the Riva theme, the Sola theme, and the Stage theme. And then finally, there's the Legend of Legacy, the Chibi Adventurers theme. I want to, oh, Nate, that makes sense, yeah. Nate says, Slappy is a living ventriloquist dummy in the world of Goosebumps. I can remember seeing that on the like the cover art from one of the books. The Legend of Legacy, I want to talk about that a little bit. As I've said many times on this podcast and on the site of GoNintendo.com, I'm not really an RPG player, but I came across an opinion piece on Gamma Sutra yesterday, or Gamma Sutra, however the hell you're supposed to say it. And it was all about how The Legend of Legacy is one of the best games of the year, but nobody's paying attention to it. And I was reading about it, and I was really interested in it. I liked what I heard. So I thought there was a demo for the game on the eShop, and I looked, and there is. So I have plans on downloading that today at some point and giving it a shot. I know it's not in my wheelhouse at all, but I want to check it out. If somebody, feels strongly enough, thanks, that's my chocolate, but if somebody feels strong enough about the game to write a big opinion piece about how it's fantastic and their favorite of the year, but nobody's playing it, then I feel like I should pay attention to it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try it out, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously, if I like it, I'm going to pick it up. But if any of you guys, thanks, Nintendo. If any of you guys have played Legend of Legacy, let me know in the IRC. Tell me what you think, because maybe you could convince me further. All right, and that's your European downloads for the week. Hopefully, you found something that was interesting to you. Some good classics and some new stuff. So, Splatoon version 2.5.0 is now available. And if you haven't gotten it, allow me to tell you the changes that it brings. There have been various stage adjustments. Nintendo says Ninty Rift says I prefer erotic dating simulators. And then Nintendo chimes in by saying erotic bubble popping dating simulators. Yes, that's true. Anything, honey pop and all the games that are just like it, which would be none. So the Splatoon update, there's been stage adjustments to Walleye Warehouse, Arowana Mall, and Piranha Pit. So in the warehouse, they've made Rainmaker modifications, and Arowana Mall, they've done all rules, modifications to prevent players going where they shouldn't be able to go. And in Piranha Pit, when it comes to tower control, there's modifications to prevent players going where they shouldn't be able to go. Like our good friend Austin, who does Egg Busters and now Good Boy Show. He spends a lot of time in his videos going places he shouldn't go. And I believe the most recent Splatoon one for Good Boy Show, maybe I'm wrong. No, I don't know what level it was. Maybe it wasn't Piranha Pit. I think it was. But he was spending time trying to get somewhere that you're not supposed to be able to get. But I won't ruin it. I won't tell you what happened. Hello, Oregano. Yeah, Andy Dasami, I heard that Splatoon's online was down last night. But as far as I know, it's back up and running now. And then battle-related issues were fixed in the Museum d'Alfonso and the Mahi Mahi Resort. Fixing something regarding incorrectly inking stuff near the rotating middle area in Museum d'Alfonso and Mahi Mahi Resort. Fixed special charge gauge problem when exploding Rainmaker in the center. And another updates include adjustments that have been made so players can have a more pleasant experience, which is Nintendo's standard line. So if you haven't gotten the update, it is available now, and it is free. And it will enhance your user experience to make it more pleasurable. Rack Attack Force says, oh, I guess you can't fall through the ramps anymore on Piranha Pit. Shame, since that's the only glitch I'm actually good at pulling off. Well, if you don't update, then you can still do it. Mom Brain, did you know that the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess is getting an HD remake?
I did.
Are you excited about that?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Do you remember your battle with Ganon in Twilight Princess?
The epic one? Yeah.
I thought you were going to say more about it.
I died and came back with what, like 2 hearts?
3. Come on, Mom Brain. It's Zelda. You come back with 3.
And had to beat Ganon with in the final boss fight with 3 hearts.
So you had a full heart meter and couldn't do it. Then you came back with 3 and did it. That's pretty good.
Listen, this is what happens.
Well,
right? You put the pressure on.
Are you going to replay it when it comes out again?
Yeah. I think I'd like to.
Right after you finish Majora's Mask, right?
Exactly.
Mitchy Mouse says, I love Twilight Princess. Such a good game. Well, Twilight Princess HD is coming out. It's due out in March. And now our favorite, Mr. Al Newman, Mr. E.G. Ayanuma, has started posting stuff on the official Zelda Twitter, obviously through Japan, about Twilight Princess. And there's some new art and looks at new things, and we're going to get more details as the weeks go on through this Twitter account. And he says, hello, this is Aonuma. This year, the world of Twilight returns in HD after 10 years. From today, we'd like to introduce information on Twilight Princess for a while. Twilight Princess is a story about the 2 worlds of light and darkness. The game scale was getting bigger, and at the early stages of the original GameCube version, we drew a lot of setting scenes. We also plan to publish things like discussions, hidden treasured images, and more, so please look forward to them. The introductions from now on will be brought to you by Mallow, who appears in the game. Mallow, I'm leaving it to you. So your Twitter information will be brought to you by Mallow now. And Mallow says, I'm Mallow. I may look like this, but I'm the owner of Mallow Mart, the hero of prices. I won't forgive you if you think I'm a child and ridicule me. And also, I'm very ugly. He doesn't say it. So more to come from that Twitter account. Seems like there's daily updates, and we are happy to bring those to you. Link Triforce says, nice. Hopefully we'll hear about some new features and changes soon. It'd be nice to see a direct soon, though, dedicated to Zelda. Both Twilight Princess HD and Zelda Wii U. Well, that would be lovely. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that idea. I think Nintendo should do that. We'll see what actually happens. You know, if you remember, Mr. Kimishima said that they're looking to do like a fresh take or a new direction on the Nintendo Directs. And that's going to happen this year. We just don't know when, and I'm sure one of those will be somewhat Zelda related. So cross your fingers. What hot chocolate is this?
Starbucks.
It's good. I like this way better than the other one, whatever it was.
Williams Sonoma.
Yeah.
You know what I did for this one? I added a little cinnamon.
It's the magic.
And like 5 or 6 chocolate.
The magic ingredient. Oh. Nobody's stuff is good enough for you, is it? You got to doctor it up.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo has won a Supreme Court case against flash cart sellers. This court ruling included Nintendo and 49 other game companies, and the case was originally filed all the way back in 2009. But it's been appealed multiple times since then. And finally, on January 12th, the Supreme Court denied further appeals on the case, so it's over and done with. The import and sale of flash carts in Japan remains illegal. So they're not necessarily saying flash carts are illegal. They're just saying that retailers are no longer allowed to import or sell them. So how you're going to get them, I don't know. But retailers in Japan aren't allowed to do it. And the defendants must pay nearly 9.6 million yen. That's roughly $815,000 US dollars American. So I know I'm going to jinx things here, but it seems like the piracy issue or the piracy issue with the 3DS hasn't really been all that bad. I mean, if you remember the late days of the DS, like the last couple of years, it got ridiculously bad. I mean, we're talking about like lots and lots of, not just, gamers, but parents that were just getting flash cards and loading up games for their kids to play on the DS and not thinking anything of it. So with the 3DS, it's been a lot different. It seems like it's been, Nintendo's been able to avoid any major issues on that front. Obviously learned from their days with the DS. So good for Nintendo. Hello, Red Dragon. All right, we got some information on The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD about the Trial of the Beast and the bottomless wallet and more. Using the Wolf Link amiibo will allow you to play through the Trial of the Beast. And if you clear this while you have the giant wallet on you, you will earn the bottomless wallet. And the bottomless wallet lets you hold up to 9,999 rupees. So that's always a complaint in Zelda games. You get too many rupees, and you have a wallet that's not big enough to hold them, and there's nothing really to spend them on. So now you won't have the issue of having wallets that aren't sizable enough. I mean, 9,999 rupees. You should be good. Excuse me. And Link's health inside normal dungeons can be recovered by the amount of hearts you preserve in this exclusive dungeon. And you can import some data from Twilight Princess HD into the new Zelda Wii U game, which we've already known. But we don't know what it's going to bring over. And it says only the Wolf Link amiibo is capable of storing data to import, so you're not going to be able to put it in another Link or Zelda amiibo. Scanning of other Zelda-related amiibo can be done once per day. If you scan in Link or Toon Link, you'll get fully replenished arrows. If you scan in Zelda or Sheik, you'll get fully restored hearts. But if you're looking for a challenge, you can scan in the Ganondorf amiibo, and he causes you to take twice as much damage from enemy attacks. It doesn't seem like you get anything extra from the game for doing that. Like if you beat the game on a tougher setting, you're not going to get any bonuses or anything. But if you're looking, since you're replaying this game, most likely you've played it before, you can scan in the Ganondorf amiibo and make your second run through, or your run through on the HD version, a little bit more challenging. So there you go. Some interesting things. I mean, we heard a good amount of stuff about Twilight Princess HD. I believe we have a little bit more to talk about later today. But surprisingly, this week had a lot of info on it. And Andre LOL says, using amiibo to make the game easier is just stupid. Well, some people need help. If they need help, I don't think you should knock them for doing it. Hey, Mom Rain.
Yes.
Did you know that Fire Emblem Fates is getting weekly DLC and a new special 3DS XL? All right, let me say this again. A new special 3DS XL was announced.
No, I didn't know.
So, when Fire Emblem Fates launches, you'll be able to get new map DLC, and that's going to be released weekly. And the first new DLC comes out February 19th. And there will be bundles of 11 DLC maps and other content, which is not specified, for $18. So you can get 11 new DLC maps and some other goodies for $18 in a bundle if you so choose. And there is also a Fire Emblem Fates new 3DS XL that is coming out in North America on February 19th. But I want to stress that this new 3DS XL does not include a copy of the game. So Nintendo's doing that old thing again where it's like, here's this fancy new system to celebrate this new game. By the way, this doesn't include the game. So you still have to buy the game.
That seems crappy.
Sometimes they put the game in there, sometimes they don't. And I agree, it seems a little crappy. But, if you're a big Fire Emblem fan, you want the system no matter what. Blue Husky, hello to you. Good to see you. Einar1025 says, Gah! This 3DS or the Pokemon one. Nintendo, why? Yeah, Nintendo likes to do that. Likes to torture their fans and be like, you don't have enough money for both, but which one do you want more? Which series do you love more? Do you love Pokemon more or do you love Fire Emblem more? I don't know. That's the decision you'll have to struggle with. Nintendo also gave a whole bunch of details about various RPGs hitting the 3DS this year, we'll say. Mostly, we're talking about first half of the year. But Nintendo held a small press event at their on the West Coast earlier this week, and it was just to talk about the big RPGs that are coming to the system. So I'll give you a rundown. Hello, Black Cat. Thanks for joining us. So like I said, Fire Emblem Fates, and you heard all about that. Blah, 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 blah. Bravely Second End Layer is coming to the 3DS, and that's due out April 15th, and there's also a collector's edition. So you'll be able to get the collector's edition for $70, and that includes the game, a 10-song original soundtrack, a 250-page deluxe art book as well. And also on top of that, a demo version of the game. It's going to launch prior to the game's full launch. The demo includes a unique story different than the one found in the final game, as well as new jobs and areas to explore. Street Pass tags and bonuses from the demo will carry over to the main game, so some of your content will make it over. Final Fantasy Explorers is due out on January 26th, so that's right around the corner. And
yeah, this week, right?
Yeah, I actually just managed to get my hands on a review copy last night. I'm a big fan of those type of Final Fantasy games, and I will be playing it this weekend.
RPGs.
So yes, I love RPGs. So I can get you a review this week. Also, right around the corner is Project Cross Zone 2. That's due out February 16th. And let us not forget about the original Pokemon games, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, on February 27th. And then later we have Dragon Quest VII Fragments of the Forgotten Past to look forward to. That comes out this summer, so we don't know when exactly, just summer. And then Dragon Quest VIII Journey of the Cursed King launches later this year. So both those games coming this year, but we got to wait until summer to get one of them. So if you like RPGs, there's a lot to look forward to on 3DS. Mon Brain, you strike me as someone who would be really into RPGs, but you don't play them.
There's just too much to think about with, and I don't mean that in like a dumb way. I just mean
There's
like I don't.
too much to think about.
I mean, I don't find it like relaxing.
Too stressed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you like get nervous when like things are running around and hitting you and stuff like that. In an RPG, you can just like sit there on the menu and be like, all right, I'm going to do this and that.
Yeah, you're right.
Pennerge Jr. says, I will have the Bravely Second Collector's Edition. Oh, yes, I will have it.
It will be mine.
Well, I hope you enjoy it when you get it. Nate Senpai says, I like RPGs, but I never have time. Yeah, that's another big part of it. They take a lot of time to play. It's not like you get an RPG and it's over in like 3 hours. They're usually like, 40 to 60, somewhere in there. Sega is teasing some Sonic news that they're saying something's going to be discussed in February. They're not saying how big or what, but it's definitely Sonic related. This was teased by Sega's Aaron Weber, who's very well known for teasing things over at Sega. He was doing some hashtags on Tumblr, on a Tumblr post that they did, Hello Signs. And he says, we have something coming up in February that some of you will be interested in, but we can't talk about it yet. Don't tell anyone you saw this hint in the Tumblr tags, okay? So, something's coming. I mean, we know it's Sonic's big anniversary coming up. And obviously there's plans. We've already heard rumblings of a game and stuff like that. But whatever they're going to talk about, we do not know. But something in February. Gergit says, my bet is the announcement will take place on Amy Rose Monday. We'll find out. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if there's not a game to celebrate Sonic's anniversary this year. It's obvious there's multiple things going on, but the cat got scared. He's trying to sleep in bed, and the plow came in. Look, he hates it.
Oh.
He couldn't take it. He was laying there, the thing came in, and he was like, looking at the window, and then he ran away.
It won't get you, I promise.
So, David Gibson is an analyst. We use a lot of his tweets when it comes to Nintendo's investor briefings in Japan because he is actually at those, and he tweets out whatever details he can. He tweets about whatever he's allowed to. So he's a lovely man that brings us that information, and we're very thankful for it. And apparently he has gotten some information on the NX. This was reported by Takashi, how do I say this? Mochizuki, who I believe is another tech analyst that that had read a report coming from David Gibson's company, the company he works for, that Gibson was involved with putting together. And the report says that Nintendo's NX may work with smartphones, PCs, and even rival consoles such as the PlayStation 4. Now, that's pretty interesting, but we have to look at what exactly that would mean. How would the NX work with something like the PS4? It's easy enough to see how it would work with PC and smartphone, but what would it do in relation to the PS4? Is it just something like, web-based, so you could access something about the NX through the PS4's web browser or whatever? Or is it something more than that? We don't know, but an interesting tidbit nonetheless. And obviously, we're not going to hear anything from Nintendo until they feel like telling us. See, he moved to the chair. Look at him. He's looking at the window. Rack Attack Force says, this brings to mind that bit from that Double Vision episode of Angry Video Game Nerd, where he talks about an expansion for the ColecoVision that lets you play Atari games, and how a similar thing could never happen in the modern market. I had to raise an eyebrow when I saw this. Smartphones make sense. They're going into that market, so they would want to bring those people back over into the core game hardware. PC, all right, I can buy that. You can buy eShop games and access Miiverse from your PC, so maybe they'll want to expand on that. PS4, I'm sorry, what? Don't get me wrong. I have no real problem if some level of connectivity happened, such as a cross-console multiplayer for major third-party titles. Hell, I'd welcome it. But you'd have to get some seltzer water first so I can do a spit take if this is true. Yeah, I mean, just that little mention of that has led to all kinds of speculation. Everybody's like, well, look, NX, the name is NX. It's the Nintendo cross-platform, and they're going to cross over with Sony, and they're going to work on Sony. And people are like, look, Sony and Nintendo have worked in the past before. They were going to do the Super Nintendo CD, and then that fell apart, and it turned into the PlayStation. So maybe they're working with each other again. I have no idea. But that's what we do right now. We don't have all the details. We only have little tidbits and rumors and speculation, and then based on that, we try and formulate some ideas on what could happen. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's exciting to look forward to. Skintendo says, I think the cross-function thing really would only be for certain games. I think MMORPGs. But like if you wanted to play Mortal Kombat, that would be a single platform. I don't know. Nintendo said, the NX is a brand new thing. It's not an extension of the Wii U or the Wii or anything like that. It's a brand new thing. So Nintendo loves to think outside the box and do their own thing. This is very well known, sometimes to their own detriment, but I can respect it. I always respect that they do that. So we'll see what they do. I don't know. Mr. Sakurai sat down for an interview with Famitsu, where they did cross interviews with another developer. So they paired Mr. Sakurai with Tetsuya Nomura, the developer, one of the developers over at Square Enix. And this interview talked about how Cloud came to be in Smash Brothers. And Sakurai says Nomura and himself didn't meet. Let's see. They didn't have any sort of meeting before this, collaboration for Smash Brothers. So they knew of each other and they knew of each other's work, but they never had met in person. And Nomura said Sakurai says, we only got to talk face-to-face because of Smash Brothers, but honestly, I was surprised that Mr. Nomura agreed to talk to me. And Nomura said, I was glad to, of course. And Sakurai said, I thought you'd be too busy and you wouldn't have the time to discuss this idea with me. And Nomura said, it was an opportunity for Cloud to appear in Smash Brothers. How could I turn it down? That's a very good point. Sakurai says, this isn't an exact number, but among the requests for a Final Fantasy character to appear in Smash Brothers, around 1/4 to 1/3 of the requests we got were from fans asking for Cloud. I really wanted to answer the desires of those fans, and even though I thought it would be impossible, I reached out anyway just to try. Nomura says, when we first talked, I asked, are you sure you're okay with Cloud? He's not a character from a new game after all. Sakurai said, but on the other hand, if you think about who to add from Final Fantasy, it's hard to come up with choices that aren't Cloud. We could have used Terra or Bart's protagonists in their own right, but I feel like there would have been some people who wouldn't know who those characters are. It's very true. If you're going for like franchise recognition when it comes to characters that are overall best known to represent the Final Fantasy series, without a doubt, Cloud is the one. He is the most well-known. I'm not going to say he's the most popular, but I would say, without question, he's the most well-known. Gaibon says, that old mashed potato Sakura ice magic is how.
Mashed potato.
That's what I'm going to call Sakurai from now on. Instead of Masahiro Sakurai, it's mashed potato Sakura ice.
Oh.
It's nice to read about how creators often get starry-eyed when talking about and to their peers. And I want to point out, that's just a small snippet of the full interview, so make sure you check that out. Okay, we're back to Twilight Princess HD information, another round of info. I told you Ganondorf. Ganondorf's amiibo can be scanned as many times in a day as you want, so he's unlike the other amiibo. Trial of the Beast. The location is a cave, and you cannot revert back to human form in that cave. So this cave's trials are all related to Midna and Wolf Link. You're not going to be playing as regular Link with his sword. There are 40 basement floors, and when you clear the final floor while having the giant wallet, you get the bottomless wallet. Like I said, each floor will have enemies, but some floors also have environmental hazards, like tiles that shoot out lava and stuff like that. And the lower you get in the Trial of the Beast, the stronger the enemies will become. And as you might have suspected, when it comes to bottomless wallet, this wallet lets you use magic armor for a much longer time because the magic armor uses rupees. So with a higher limit on rupees, you can use the armor for a longer time. That's your details right there. So some more interesting stuff to talk about when it comes to Twilight Princess. And surprisingly, this week's Nintendo Minute featured a healthy amount of brand new footage of the game. So check that out if you haven't. Kirby Fan 407 says, I don't really understand the stuff about the Wolf Link amiibo. Hopefully, Nintendo releases a direct or a press release next week. Well, you got your wish. They cleared it up. If you watch the if you watch the Nintendo Minute, you get a very good breakdown of all the details. So here's the report from David Gibson that I was talking to earlier. We got to look at the full couple set of blurbs that Mr. Gibson and the company he works for, Macquarie. How do you say this? Macquarie report. This is what they put out about the NX, and I want to stress some of this is like confirmed information that we know, and some of it is speculation on their part, and it's 100% interesting. So here's what the report says. NX Portable first in 2016. Given press reports of development kits being issued and others implying a 10 to 12 million unit production run, we have brought forward the NX launch from November 2017 to November 2016. However, we now assume a portable NX launch at a lower price from $300 to $200 in 2016 and a console partner device that launches in 2017. We think NX is a platform of two devices and may include AR as well. A recent patent filing, we think, implies a lower price point to portable NX rather than the 250 price point the 3DS had. So that's really interesting. We've heard a lot of speculation of the NX combining portables and consoles in some way, and all in one unit or something like that, especially since Nintendo's portable and console divisions came together in their development headquarters. Like the two teams actually merged to work together on projects. Excuse me. So when they came together, obviously speculation on that started to crop up, and it makes sense. If the two are working together, you might think that the next hardware that they have coming out would be an all-in-one. But this report has a really unique idea. Maybe Nintendo is looking to release the NX in a portable form in 2016 this year, and then in 2017 they'll release a console, like a complementary console or something like that. Think of it like something akin to the Super Game Boy. So like maybe let's say the NX portable comes out in 2016. then in 2017 you'll get something that allows you to play it on TV and just act as a console, and maybe offers some unique features, but overall a way to play the console on your TV. So that's a really unique idea. That's one I can definitely get behind, because I'm one that much prefers to play on TV than I do on portable. I don't have anything against portable, but just personal preference, I'd rather play on the TV because I have my sound set up in a big TV and stuff like that. I like to play on the TV. And oftentimes when I play games on portables, I'm like, man, I wish I could play this on the TV. So an idea like this is really interesting. I would really be into that. And if this were the case, the best part is you could get the portable version at the cheaper price and not have to worry about missing out on anything. You'd get the same games. You just would only be playing them on the portable rather than on TV. And as you very well know, Nintendo always does well in the portable space. Even if they had some faults or some missteps in the beginning with the 3DS, they turned it around. And now it's doing just fine. But it's a very interesting idea. The second part of the report says, could NX work with smartphones or rival consoles? We think recent patent filings on shared processing and portable controllers have negatively impacted the share price as investors assume the NX is more favored over smartphone games. The shared processing patent implied, if used for the NX, the device could work with rival consoles or smartphones. Hence, we believe smartphone games, smartphone games will work with the NX and actually help to drive sales of both. It's possible the NX works with PS4 or PCs, which would be a major change for Nintendo and would be a positive. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising for the NX to have some sort of element that allows it to play Nintendo's mobile games. Because Nintendo has said time and time again that their mobile games are going to be put out there in a way to hopefully drive consumers to their hardware, their dedicated hardware. So they want you to check out Miitomo and link up your My Nintendo account and all that stuff, and just get your interactivity there. And then when then when the next round of Nintendo mobile games come out that focus more on traditional Nintendo characters and stuff like that, they're hoping people will play those and be like, yeah, I want to check out what Nintendo's doing on their side of things when it comes to hardware and stuff like that, and follow the characters over to their complementary games on the NX or the Wii U or the 3DS, whatever it may be. So that's a really cool idea. Hopefully what this analyst firm is saying comes true. I would like to see a lot of it. It's a really cool idea. It seems very well thought out, and it seems like an interesting path for Nintendo to take. So this report really got me excited. It had me thinking about the future of the NX and Nintendo in general in some ways that I hadn't considered yet. So we will see what happens. And it wouldn't be surprising to see Nintendo do something that's completely different from anything we've heard so far. But there's some speculation in there that makes a lot of sense. Panurge Jr., first comment again. And he says, everything has been filed to my believe it when I see it folder. That might be the best way to handle it. I mean, it's fun to speculate and guess, and it's fun to patent hunt and try and find out what Nintendo's up to. So long as you don't report it as gospel or take it as this is what Nintendo's doing, this is the way it's going to be, and this is what it has to be. And then Nintendo does something completely different. And you're like, what the hell? They had this patent and they had that patent. Yeah, that's how a lot of companies work. But, we're very used to it when Nintendo patents filed for things that never come around. I mean, look at what we talked about last week. There was something that was like Super Mario Maker all the way back in 1994 that needed its own dedicated hardware. Nintendo filed a patent, but it never came out, obviously. Another interesting story. Fire Emblem Fates, when it came out in Japan, had... I know this is a sensitive topic to discuss, so I'm going to try and word it as carefully as I can. When Fire Emblem Fates came out in Japan, it had a storyline that, to oversimplify it, had a character that's a lesbian, and in one of the scenarios, a male character came in and drugged her, basically, gave her a magic potion, or whatever you want to call it, that made her attracted in the opposite sex. So she could become interested in men and form a relationship with a man. And a lot of people were upset with this because it was... Some people took it as Nintendo saying, like, you can, like, cure gayness, or you or being gay is inappropriate, and that's why the character was changed from a girl liking girls into a girl liking guys, blah, 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 whatever. I think the most important thing to point out is Japan is very different than, you know, here or Europe or whatever you want to say. So I don't think there was any malice or any ill intent behind it when Nintendo originally did it. But that kind of stuff doesn't. That kind of stuff has to be handled differently when it gets localized. And Nintendo put out a short statement that said, in the version of the game that ships in the US and Europe, there is no expression which might be considered as gay conversion or drugging that occurs between characters. And we found out that they're just taking out that whole scenario altogether. It's a side scenario. Like, it's not a major portion of the game. Obviously, that character's still going to be in the game. Or those characters will still be in the game. But they're just taking that whole little scenario out, rather than try and tweak it into something that makes everybody happy, which I'm sure would make people upset in general. Nintendo's taking the approach of, we'll just remove it altogether, and then the problem's gone. So I know people are upset that the content's going to be cut, and they would have rather seen Nintendo try and handle it in a way that better addressed it. But they're taking the safest route, and I can't blame them for that. And also, well, let's see. Also, the important point the important thing to point out is the game still, and Nintendo has clarified this in a separate statement, the game still allows for gay relationships. They're not taking that out. So when the game is localized, a guy will be able to marry a guy, or a girl will be able to marry a girl. So that they're not eliminating gay relationships. It's just this one scenario. I think the thing is, the whole situation was taken a little bit out of context in Japan. The original version of the game, and then it hit the internet and things went crazy. So it became a mess. Maybe deservedly so, maybe not. Maybe things were blown out of proportion. I don't know. But it became a thing. So this is how Nintendo's handling it. Hello, DRZ. Good to see you. Top rated comment is by Tendonin. He's got a special pink nomination.
I get it, Tendonin.
The pink border around his name. Remember, you can vote on comments on GoNintendo now. So if you have somebody that says something you really like, you give them a vote, and then they become the top rated comment. Tendonin has it today on this post, and he says, "Say no to blind absolutism." That's what he says. Absolutely. Let us continue. I did a review of Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. So if you want to know my feelings on that game, you can check that out. Thank you. You gave the review a +10. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed it. As I do with all my reviews, I try to keep them as spoiler-free as possible. I try and give you all the mechanics and all those details and how I felt about them. But I stay very far away from big story spoilers, or pretty much story spoilers in general. There are a couple little things I had to mention in here just because they relate directly to mechanics that are a theme throughout the entire game. But it's a spoiler-free review, I would say. Marsborough has first comment, and he says, "Great review. Now I just need to read a few more and check a couple of the sources to see if I want to buy this funky little game." That's how you should handle it. Read reviews around the internet, go to your favorite sites or outlets or review publications and see what they got to say, and then make your decision. I can very greatly appreciate that. North America, this week's downloads. What did we get? We got Minecraft Story Mode Episode 1. So now we know why Telltale and Mojang were like, Minecraft Story Mode's coming to Wii U, but it's coming later than the other versions. But we aren't saying why, but it'll be there. Now we know why, because they were bringing Minecraft in general to the Wii U, and it was a secret. So they wanted to make sure that got out and had a few weeks on the Wii U eShop before they brought out Story Mode. So it all makes perfect sense now. Minecraft Story Mode is now available on the Wii U. Mario and Luigi Paper Jam is now available as well. And obviously, as you know, that's eShop and retail. So you can read some reviews or just follow your heart. Buy the game or don't buy it. That is available on the Virtual Console. Super Mario Advance for Super Mario Brothers 3. And the reason this is notable is because the game includes all the extra levels that were added to the game by the e-reader. Do you remember the e-reader, Mom Brain? It hooked up to the Game Boy Advance, and you scanned cards through it. Yeah. It's like Amiibo cards before Amiibo were around. Well, these cards allowed you to get brand new levels in Super Mario Brothers 3 that were created specifically for Super Mario Advance 4. So now this digital version, this Virtual Console version on the Wii U, includes all that extra content. So you can have a whole bunch of stages you've never played before, which makes this Virtual Console release a little more enticing. Europe got it a few weeks back, and we finally get it. Zack and Wiki is available on the Wii U Virtual Console. Oh, I'm sorry. Zack and Wiki is available as a Wii U download. It is a Wii. It's a digital version of a Wii game on the Wii U eShop. People get very mad when I say Wii U Virtual Console for Wii games. The second week of the winter warm-up sale is going on. That's a whole bunch of games that you can save up to 30% off on. So check that out. And then there's other sales going on as well. New themes this week for your 3DS include the Sega SG-1000 theme and the Animal Crossing Winter Frolicking theme. So if you want to deck your 3DS out in some winter themes with Animal Crossing, you can do that right now. Also available this week, 3DS got Pet in 3D, and that's INN, so like Pet Hotel. Nice. And Wii U got a World of Keflings demo, Cube Life Island Survival demo, Skeezy. I have no idea what it is.
Skeezy is like
this is SK Easy, but all together, all one word. Oh. And it also got Brunswick Pro Bowling. I like bowling video games, and I know I shouldn't because they're usually pretty bad, but I like them. So if anybody's played that, let me know. What we got here? Nintendo put out a press release, and it says, Nintendo brings new Amiibo figures and functionality to games in early 2016. So what do we got here?
That was probably our roof.
Wolf Link Amiibo, which you know about. In addition to, they tell you what else works in Twilight Princess HD, but you already know that. On March 18th, new Amiibo figures in the Animal Crossing series will launch in stores, including characters like Timmy and Tommy, Cap'n,
nice,
and Rover. Digby will also be made available as a standalone Amiibo. And the next series of Animal Crossing Amiibo cards launches in March, bringing the grand total of Amiibo cards to a whopping 300. Let the collecting begin, they say. Fans are ready to compete in Rio de Janeiro with Mario, Sonic, and the gang, and Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. We'll also have to warm up their Amiibo tapping fingers. When the game launches on 3DS on March 18th, both Mario and Sonic Amiibo figures will be compatible. By tapping the Mario or Sonic Amiibo figures to the new 3DS, players can boost Mario and Sonic's outfits with that character's power for the day. And then to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, some of the Pokemon Amiibo will be made available once again at select retailers. So keep an eye out for Charizard, Jigglypuff, Greninja, and Lucario to return to store shelves. And then Pikachu, of course. And finally, we got some confirmation on Star Fox Zero using Amiibo. With a unique control scheme that uses both the TV screen and the screen on the gamepad, players pilot multiple vehicles through intergalactic levels with Fox and his classic crew. The game launches exclusively for Wii U on April 22nd and will feature Amiibo compatibility, but it doesn't say what. So now we know Amiibo will work with the game, but we don't know what the Amiibo are going to do, so we'll find that out later. But the important part of that blurb is there were some rumblings recently that Star Fox Zero was going to be delayed, but this press release came out this week, and it says April 22nd, so it looks like the April release date is still on. I do want to stress that the delay rumors were coming. Oh, damn it. There it is. Bookmark. Did it again. The delay rumors were related to Europe, and this was a North American press release. So maybe the game will be delayed in Europe. Hopefully not. But it looks like the release date for North America is still on. Mando Bardan Jusic says, so Star Fox Zero is reconfirmed for April. So that begs the question, what is Nintendo's big May game? Retro's Mystery Project, perhaps? Also, with 3 out of 6 currently unannounced big games coming out, I'd say we have a 2 to 4 unannounced Wii U games coming out this year. Well, that pertains to something else we're going to get to soon, I think. Soon in this show, I mean. Sega teased something this week on their Facebook page saying they had an announcement for fans of classic games, and it did not disappoint. I'm very happy to say that the Sega 3D Classics Collection is coming to North America. That's the 3DS game. That's a compilation of a whole bunch of classic Sega games, but remade in 3D and overhauled into some really nice games. A really nice package. That's due out April 26th, and I absolutely love the cover art. It's all classic style Sonic art. Look at that cover. Man, I like that a lot.
That's fun.
I'll show it to the camera. Look at that. Look at that cover. Man, that's a great... I love it. I love that. All right, so what's in this game? 7 classic games are included in this collection, including Power Drift, Puyo Puyo 2, Fantasy Zone 2W, Sonic the Hedgehog, Thunderblade, Galaxy Force 2, Altered Beast, and it includes 2 bonus games, Fantasy Zone 2 and Maze Walker.
Mr. Crafty says hi.
Hello, Mr. Crafty. Good to see you. I'm sorry I didn't see you join. Hello, SD Sick Hero. And Link Triforce, did I say hello to you? So if you're a fan of all those classic Sonic or all those classic Sega games, now you can get them all in one package. And again, that comes out April 26th. Very cool. Very fun to see that compilation getting a retail release. I like it. The Dread Pirate guy says, no Streets of Rage? Ah, well, I'll still get this collection. Well, maybe when the next collection comes out. I covered that. We'll skip it. There's a much bigger blurb from Nintendo that was released later in the week about Fire Emblem Fates and that content being cut and same-sex marriage still included, blah, blah, blah. So if you'd like a more detailed explanation of what we heard earlier, you can check that out. My parents played another game this week, and it was suggested by Radical Defect. So again, thank you to him. He suggested it on Twitter when we were looking for games for our parents to play. Well,
what?
You're not in this. Okay,
well, I can't sit
there you go. That's perfect.
Hunched forward.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Shovel cast.
I was joking. It was suggested by Radical Defect, and it was suggested on National Hug Day. And that game was A Boy and His Blob, not the NES game, but the Wii game. It was made by Way Forward and published by Majesco, and just got re-released on newer platforms. He suggested A Boy and His Blob because it has a dedicated hug button, one of the only games, or the only game that I know of, with a button that is just dedicated to hugs. Link Triforce says, the new Parents Play video reminded me that I have to go back to that game. Mickey Mouse says, this week's My Parents Play was awesome. Well, thank you very much, you two. I appreciate it. So, yeah, if you want to see my parents tackle that game, and they do an excellent job of it. My mom did a very nice job, and surprisingly, my dad did probably better in this video than he has any other video. I saw him, hello, Chris Rowe. I saw him, start to learn the controls. He honestly was learning how to do the controls and only had to be slightly prompted. I saw the gears turning, I saw his fingers moving, he was getting what to do.
Do you think that he is practicing secretly?
After this week's show, he told me, he's like, I gotta stop being silly. I gotta really pay attention. He's like, I was really focused this week. I really wanted to do well, and I did. And I was like, yeah, you made it. He has to go completely silent basically and really focus. But really, you should watch it. He's the second half of the video. He honestly did a very good job. I would say his best so far. Very impressed. Nintendo says A Boy and His Blob is a great game to teach people. Yeah, slow-paced, side-scroller, so there's not too much in the way of, there's no camera manipulation or anything you got to worry about. Nintendo is asking if I'm going to talk about buddy bathtubs. I guess he follows me on Facebook. I'll talk about it in the after show. Hello, Mr. Coy. It's a great topic. I'd love to talk about it, but we're running late. But I'll talk about it after show, I promise.
I mean, what do we have to do today?
After show all day.
All right.
So, the lovely and talented and smart and full of inside information, Emily Rogers sent out a tweet this week. And she said her and Dr. Cupcakes is
That's
involved
a great name for a cat.
with other with leaking other game information, stuff that's been in the works or stuff that was canceled or whatever. As well as Shocking Alberto, who you know of if you're on NeoGAF. They were all working together to source information on an unannounced Wii U game. And they were saying this is a game that, you know, exists and is being localized and is coming to the Wii U this year. And they said they had 4 to 5 sources on this game. So they had a lot of evidence to prove that it was the real deal. And they said they were going to announce it Monday, so they were teasing fans. And when Emily Rogers says something, I believe it. She knows her stuff. You know, whatever inside tracks she has, whatever way she has to get her information, they are legitimate. So when she tweeted this out, I was like, yeah, this is going to be something. The best part about it is they didn't wait until Monday to tell us because we'd still be waiting now. But instead, they were like, oh, on Friday night, they were like, we'll tell you. So according to their inside sources, a new Paper Mario game is coming to the Wii U, and it's coming this year. The localization is being worked on right now, which obviously means it's very far ahead in development. So when is Nintendo going to announce it? I don't know. And I'm sure these guys are going to show us some other sources and some more detailed information. Shell Shock Prime, I'm going to talk about WWE as well, trust me, in the after show. You're getting bathtub talk and WWE talk after show. I'm excited. So, yeah, I trust these guys. As far as I'm concerned, this game is happening. It's not like Nintendo's going to say, oh, the information was leaked. Forget it. We're canceling the game. So something is coming. And people have been saying, like, well, Wii U's dead in 2016. And obviously, one game doesn't make a system not dead. But seeing this kind of system or seeing this kind of support is nice to see, like a Paper Mario game for Wii U. And that's actually what our tweet for today is all about. You still have some time to get on there. If you go to GoNintendo tweet on Twitter, our Twitter question is all about this Paper Mario rumor. So you can get in there and answer it, and I will read your answer in a little bit. So that's exciting. I'm going to go to, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to read the comments on the updated post for Paper Mario in a minute, because these old comments will be about before we knew what the game was. But before we get to that, I want to get to this story. Lego Marvel's Avengers on the 3DS. This marks the first time ever that a portable version of a Lego game is going to have a full open world, or we'll say full free roaming open world hub city. This comes from Steve Thornton. He's the game director for the Vita and 3DS version of Lego Marvel's Avengers. He did a blog, and he says, I'm incredibly pleased to announce that for the first time ever, we have a full free-roaming open-world hub city on handheld. A full one-to-one scale rendition of the console Manhattan City hub is playable both on 3DS and Vita with no breaks, no cuts, or loading screens. Capturing the console scale was important to us. We knew we couldn't sacrifice life for activity, so the handheld city is also fully populated with traffic and pedestrian systems, props, and free play content. In fact, there are over 100 free play objects in the city, connected to 15 handheld exclusive hub challenges, a few of which I will reveal in this post. The rest you'll have to discover for yourself. So if you want to see what those are, you can click over and read the full post. But the important thing is look at how many portable Lego games there have been. Look at how many Lego games there's been in general. And just now we are getting a free roaming open world hub in the portable version. First time ever. So that's pretty cool. WesFX says, Lego City Undercover: The Chase Begins on 3DS was a pretty impressive romp. But everything else Lego for 3DS seems like a half-hearted effort. I'm concerned that they might have cut stereoscopic 3D in order to pull off the open world, but the box art and eShop listings say it has 3D, so I guess we can remain hopeful. At only $30, I'll take the plunge. Yeah, I mean, I've yet to play a Lego game where I'm like, yeah, that sucks. I always have fun with them. Plus, I love collecting things in games. So Lego games are, very well known for doing that. They feed that need for collection. All right, and back to the comments on Paper Mario. First comment comes from Vonter, and he says, I'm calling it Paper Mario HD, the 1,000-year door. GameCube ports are the most realistic thing Nintendo could do for buying time. If it were a port, I would think Emily Rogers and the gang would make note of that. They wouldn't hype it up and be like, listen, it's a new Wii U game and it's Paper Mario and it's a port of the 1,000-year door. I don't want to say that's a bad thing. I would like that. But the way they're talking about it certainly makes it seem like it's a new entry in the series and not a remake. I guess we'll find out. We'll just have to wait and see. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's all. Oh, man. Had a lot of top stories this week. All right. So you still have a couple minutes to answer the Twitter question. I'll be getting to that very shortly. But before that, Mom Brain.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
The huge, Candy Crush and such. I beat the Jelly Queen. She is a bitch. Well, I mean, I'm sure I'll have to beat her again, but
that commercial came on last night, and you were very aggravated. There's a commercial for Candy Crush Jelly Saga.
Like a girl on roller skates.
Where a girl's like dance battling the Jelly Queen, and Mom Brain was like, "Oh, I hate that effing Jelly Queen."
I do. She's with her.
That girl in the commercial beat her with no problem at all.
Well, that's probably because I beat the Jelly Queen too on the first one. First time you face her.
Oh, you're saying it's the first battle?
Right. I mean, you don't just get to this level of Candy Crush on the beach in roller skates. Like, you have to put in a lot of time and effort after work and before bed.
Or maybe she's just really good.
I don't think so.
Skendo. Is it Skendo? Skentendo, I'm sorry. Says, I'm wearing snow day clothes. Yeah, I took like a long bath last night. I took a long bath last night.
Yep. There we go.
And I just put on boxers, and that was that. I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I don't need to dirty up any clothing. But, for the podcast, I picked my crappiest shirt, put it on for you guys.
Well, and I got dressed up, clearly.
Always. You're always dressed up.
I don't remember the last time I showered.
You don't do that anymore, I don't think.
I try not to, especially in the winter.
They say people shower too often.
Yeah.
We'll talk about baths and showers later.
How many colds have I had in recent memory?
How many colds have I had?
You just got over one.
Now, wait a minute. I had a stuffy nose. That's all there was to it. That doesn't count as a cold. I had a stuffy nose. And I wasn't the one laid up in bed with a broken neck.
That I didn't break my neck, for the record. And B, that wasn't an illness.
SC Sekiro says, thank you for wearing clothes, RMC. And my body is ready says, oh, is that not a tank top, RMC? I don't own any tank tops.
That's a giant hole. That's right.
It is a giant hole. I don't own any tank tops.
Well, you do. You own like 4 undershirts.
Oh, but I don't wear
bed.
I don't wear undershirts. Let me stress, I hate undershirts, and I never wear them any time of the year ever, unless I'm getting dressed up. That's it. And I mean like suit and tie and stuff.
A dress shirt. And why do you do that?
Because you say you're supposed to do it.
Because disgusting men, only men who are disgusting and vile, choose not to wear undershirts.
The opinions of Mom Brain are not those of myself or GoNintendo.
Listen, boys, if you're not wearing an undershirt under your dress shirt, you're disgusting, and you should go buy a cheap pack of undershirts from Walmart. Mom Brain, whenever we're watching TV and somebody on TV is wearing, if they're not wearing an undershirt, she spots it right away and screams at them. My Body is Ready says, well, deep V-necks were popular in 2011. Yeah, this is like a deep U, a deep O, because I still have the neckline. Yes, Nintendo, you were disgusting and vile.
Nintendo, I do not believe that. I don't know why Mom Brain thinks this. I don't know where it comes from. She also has a thing against dress shirts that are short-sleeved. Apparently, that's not a thing either.
Nintendo, I get that you get too warm, but can't you wear a sleeveless one?
No, the warmness doesn't come from the sleeves. It comes from the body of the shirt. Like, nobody wears an undershirt and they're like, man, I'm so hot on my upper shoulder. They're like, God, I'm hot on your frame, your chest, your belly, all that. Like,
I really don't think an undershirt is gonna make that much of a difference in temperature.
It does. It's two shirts. It makes a big difference. Then Tim, I'm with you. That's it. I'm done wearing undershirts with dress stuff.
No, you're not.
Done.
No, that's disgusting.
I don't care.
Listen, I put up with a lot, but that's not something I'm putting up with.
You won't even know it. Well, yeah, you will know.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Coy.
But think about it.
What happened when you need to get dressed up? You never do it by yourself. I always lay it all out for you. And there's always a nice, clean, crisp, ribbed guinea tea waiting for you.
Yeah, but I don't want it. And think about that. You're wearing a jacket, too. It's too much. It's too much clothing. From now on, no undershirt with dress clothing and only short-sleeve dress shirts. That's the new rule.
You know, I don't ask for much.
Is that all you've been playing, Mom Brain?
Yeah.
I've been playing... I was playing Mario and Luigi a lot, Paper Jam, to get that review done. And now I have Final Fantasy Explorers to get the review done. I really want to play Oxenfree.
Mr. Coy, you're right. The space between the buttons can open and lead to a gross man boob window.
Hey, drink it up. Yeah, I want to play Oxenfree, and I haven't. I really, because I was doing the review stuff,
Oxenfree looks scary, like unsettling.
I didn't have a lot of time to play other stuff. There's so much I want to play. And now, like I said, I want to try the Legend of Legacy since I read that thing about... Not enough time. Not enough time in the day. So that's that. All right, let me get us to our Twitter question. I did watch Nicky Hill, if he were here. What am I doing? He started playing Undertale this week because he played it on my computer. So I watched him play that for a good amount. What day was it? Oh, it was my night off. I was like, because he played for a while. I was thinking, how did I have time to give him my laptop? But it was my night off. He played Undertale. And he just got, I'd say he's about halfway through. And I love watching people play games, so I'm cool with that. But I especially love watching people play that game to see what decisions they make and how things change and all that. So he played that, and he did an excellent job. All right, Twitter question for the day. If Paper Mario is coming to Wii U, what do you want from it? A sequel to Super Paper Mario or something more traditional? More traditional in the sense of like Paper Mario on the 64 or the Thousand Year Door. Dom Tendo says, sequel to Thousand Year Door, nothing else. Master Otenko says something more traditional with partners, weird story, new locations, and Easter eggs. Aaron Knight says, crossover the Paper Mario style with Mario Golf. Instead of battles, have a golf showdown, complete with golf pants. Well, I'm all about golf pants, so that counts. Moldy Clay says, a mix. I want a traditional RPG plus the Thousand Year Door style partners, but want to switch Mario out too, with Luigi and company having abilities. Radical Defect says something more traditional like Thousand Year Door, starring Paper Luigi. It's finally time he got his own game. I'm down with that. Jared Bear 1218 says it likely will return to traditional JRPG form because apparently that's all that's coming out in 2016, which is A-okay. Retro GM Pod says classic Paper Mario. It's my favorite video game series. Love the original and Thousand Year Door. Pony Prod WTVY says a third Paper Mario RPG along the lines of Thousand Year Door. Creative art, fun writing, and characters. Great combat. Mike Tenda says easily something similar to Thousand Year Door. Creative worlds, cool party members, and creative and hilarious writing. Fry Guy 64 says, Lords, not Super Paper Mario. The first one ran out of ideas after 2 hours. More Thousand Year Door, definitely. Then a conversation happens. Sneak Door Beta says, I'm one of those rare outliers that actually likes Sticker Star. It has some missteps, but sure. I had some missteps for sure, but I love the puzzles. Biohazard fan says, I didn't hate Sticker Star as much as other people did, but I would like it to be more like the N64 game or Thousand Year Door. Comp C says, I would actually love a Super Paper Mario sequel. I love that game for what it was instead of hating it for what it wasn't. Cool Fizz says something more traditional, of course. The Double NR says, I'd like something more traditional. I like Super Paper Mario, I guess he means. I like Super Paper Mario and all, yeah. But nothing beats the original. Zen's Path says Super Paper Mario. It was hilarious and fun mechanics and beyond, and it had fun mechanics beyond the original RPGs. Vino Charge says, I will take traditional if it isn't complete pandering. IZ Master says something not Sticker Star, please and thank you. Cappy Likes Games says, I don't think anyone wants a sequel to Super Paper Mario. That game was great as its own thing. I want an RPG personally. Nintendo Addict 8 says traditional, of course. Venti Yoshi says something more along the lines of Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, but perhaps elements from Super Paper Mario. OMFG Wright says, but we haven't had a traditional Paper Mario since GameCube. It's time. Good Lord, something more traditional. Super Paper Mario and Sticker Star are good games. Luigi Blood says something that's not Sticker Star. Fidget Widget says, I would love it to be more like Mario and Luigi. More traditional comment than Sticker Star or Super Paper Mario games. Dutch Poet says, wait, Mr. He says, I would like to see a remake of the original N64 title. Or is that out on the Virtual Console already? Wait, Mr. L would have to make a return. SD Stick Hero says, a great story, a ton of characters, and some really cool paper-based textures and ideas. Matt Thorndark says, I just want a back-to-basics Paper Mario game. Keep the Super Paper Mario style of exploring. Just don't make us use stickers or anything. Master Thief says, just a very good bros story, like the GameCube one. Pip Water says, I could care less about Paper Mario. No hate, just give me Mario RPG 2. Tottenham Gamers. Let me try that again. Tottenham Gamer says, I'd be fine either way. I love Super Paper Mario, but a game like the first two would be good for the fans. Mega Lolo Full says Sticker Star 2. Paul Sinfield says a Paper Mario 2D platformer, or even a remake of Super Mario World in paper. And ND92 says traditional in capital letters. Nintendo says anything as long as its story and rating returns to the style of the first three games. Super Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door were both fantastic. My Body is Ridley says, I have no interest in seeing a sequel to Super Paper Mario. Please go back to the original formula. Sequel to Thousand Year Door, please. Link Triforce says, I like both, but I guess more traditional like Thousand Year Door. Maybe with elements from Super Paper Mario. Mickey Mouse says, I just want it to be awesome. Endgamer says, Super Mario RPG sequel or none. Timothy Honeycutt says, classic Paper Mario, hands down. We need the series return to form.
Nintendo.
Mega Jacob F says, I'd like something more traditional, but with the visuals of Sticker Star. James Sibbert says, something between Super Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Both were amazing. The BC97 says, traditional. Biscuit Hammer says, something more like Thousand Year Door. The series needs to return to what it did best, in my opinion. Skintendo says, the same level of humor in previous games, amiibo support, achievements, and 2 partners in battle. Zelda Rock says, I'm yet to play a Paper Mario game, so even just a Thousand Year Door HD would be great. Jakes10 says, if Paper Mario officially comes to the Wii U, it should definitely have amiibo support. Paunchberry says, I want someone to be able to veto Miyamoto when he says that story and characters aren't important for Paper Mario. Loading Time says, traditional. Super Paper Mario and Sticker Star were not well received. Yo Dragonfire says, while I enjoyed Super Paper Mario, I'd rather have something a bit more traditional. Zygaf says, Thousand Year Door remake. Javen Bernal says, I would love a traditional Paper Mario. Thousand Year Door was amazing. Shell Shock says, a mix of Sticker Star with Thousand Year Door. John Groover says, story is greater than gameplay, so I don't care what style it is. Viral G says, I prefer something more traditional because Nintendo needs more of their own classic RPGs. Sky Armada says, Super Paper Mario, hands down. Nintendo Wii Boy says, I just want something similar to Sticker Star because unlike most people, I really enjoyed it. Martin Stuff said, in before someone mentions they didn't like Sticker Star. I'd like to see something more traditional. Oh, where did I go here? Solkia says, not to effing suck and not apply the paper gimmick to the paper-thin writing again. TK14 Music says, traditional. Please, God, traditional. The first 2 games are so good. Why keep deviating from that formula that worked? Rack Attack 4 says, after Sticker Star, they need to go back to the traditional RPG style. The story has to be amazing as Super Paper Mario, though. Eternal Monado says, something more traditional. Thousand Year Door mixed with Super, I'm thinking. And, of course, with good partners and humorous dialogue. What the? No, this ain't true, right? I have to look at something here. Hold on. Okay. EB Games America says, I want another gimmick, to be honest. Stickers were good, but I think they could do better. Rise Star 640 says, Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door HD with added post-game content or something like that. Volcanic says something more traditional. I want it to be very Thousand Year Door and 64-esque. Super Paper Mario was okay, but I want the RPG back. Flo Miragex says, or no, let me do that. God damn it. I hate when I do stupid stuff like that. Flo Mirage says, a game like Paper Mario 2 or the first Paper Mario for N64. Awesome games. Alpha 3 The Gull says, Super Paper Mario is one of my favorite Mario games. A sequel would be a 10 out of 10 for me. Swamp Villain says, traditional. It is time for the series to go back to what worked and made it fun. Super Paper Mario writing plus Thousand Year Door gameplay. Gaming Reinvented says, a Thousand Year Door style game with new characters, partners, and a villain, and an interesting location. Adrenine says, hopefully similar to the first 2, it's time for home console Mario RPG again. Matt M666 says, a mashup of all ideas that have done in past games, but done right. Win728 says, something more traditional, but it should have a story of the same quality of Super Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. DNA Bro says, obviously Thousand Year Door style, nothing else. Darkware says something, he says amiibo compatibility, motion controls, basically anything that makes people say it won't sell, whereupon it'll sell anyway. Something that'll get more people salty. Yes, more stickers. Maybe an anime musical interlude. He just wants people angry. Rasvita Guild says, I've kind of given up on Paper Mario after Sticker Star, but I could be happy with either option as long as it's done well. Sir Right Away says, I want just the straight-up sequel to Thousand Year Door. We haven't had a traditional since then, so now is the time. The Mortal says, as long as they are allowed to make up their own characters, it'll end up fine. Fabulous Magypsy says, for Nintendo to pretend that Sticker Star never happened. Kaneko Kahaku says, make it more like Thousand Year Door. Hariel P48 says, an RPG with Super Paper Mario kind of story. Stephen Chase 87 says, back to its roots for sure. Dirt Dog says, I prefer a traditional experience with a few neat tricks to make things feel fresh. Johnny R 2002 says, traditional, please. D Partinelli says, RPG. Mazel 5 says, the gameplay in Mario RPG and Paper Mario series was already established. Go back to that formula. Nestor says, for me personally, it's just harder to find time to play all these RPGs. It sometimes feels like they won't stop coming. I personally would love to see a follow-up to Super Paper Mario. I love the combination of platforming with RPG elements. And finally, Cool Pal Mitch says, honestly, as long as it doesn't take place in the Mushroom Kingdom, I'll be happy. Man, you guys are very adamant about this Twitter question. I didn't think it was going to be as popular as it was. Thank you very much for all your tweets. I greatly appreciate it. Me personally, I loved Thousand Year Door. Something wrong here? Well, you know, like I don't consider it a real cold. Like I had the sniffles. I would like, or like I was saying, I really like the Thousand Year Door, and I really like Super Paper Mario. I'd be fine with the game that combined the two. I'd be fine with one that stuck to either one more than the other. All that's fine with me. Man, I know this. I would be fine with either of those. And I know this isn't a popular answer, but I think I would want it to be more like Super Paper Mario. I really like that game. Just because we haven't really seen anything like that at all, and we've had more traditional Paper Mario RPGs than we have had anything like Super Paper Mario. So, you know, Super Paper Mario is where I'm going, but a blending of the two is great. So, but if it's only Thousand Year Door style, that's fine too. I'd be happy with that. I love those games, so I'm easy to please. All right. Come on, Brain, we did it.
We survived.
Show's over. What do you give it out of 10? Hello, Stunt.
I'd
Thanks
give
for
this a
joining at
10.
the last
I'd
second.
give this a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great apocalypse pod.
All right. Then we're out of here. Thanks, everybody that stopped by and listened. Again, another record day, another banner day in the IRC. I appreciate everybody joining in. Thanks, everybody that was watching. We've had a lot of people watching live lately, so I appreciate that. Thanks for spending some time with us. I'm sure some of you are stuck inside because of the snowstorm, so you got nothing better to do. But thanks for sticking with us. The show ends here, and we'll have a little bit of after show while the podcast exports. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful weekend.
Be safe out there.
And we will see you next week.
Hey, keep in mind that if you don't have to be on the roads, you shouldn't be out. There are people who have to be on the roads, and you should let them have the space they need, and be thankful to the people plowing and the emergency workers who have to go out there and save those people who need to be out on the roads. God forbid they should.
If you don't got to go anywhere, don't go anywhere.
Right? Just stay inside. Read a book, make love, watch television.
Play some games.
Play games.
All right, we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
All right. Let me get the export going. Oh, that's not right. That's not right. All right, show is exporting. While it exports, I'll give you a nice outside camera view of all the snow. God damn it.
Everything okay?
Yeah. There we go. That, can you see that there? That hole there, right in between the two trees.
Oh, do you see the kids in it?
I don't know if we can see it. All right, so Royal Rumble, Mom Brain, let's hear it.
I don't know. I hope Roman Reigns does not win.
Why you hate Roman Reigns so much, Mom Brain?
I just don't want him to be my champion.
Why is this so confusing for me?
What do you mean?
Oh, there. Okay, I see. So, God damn! I'm trying to show you the kid digging a hole. If this damn camera would let me. So, you don't want oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Okay, what can we do here?
I'm good. So you don't want Roman
These
Reigns.
poor people are going to be sick.
You don't want Roman Reigns to win. That's it. That's all you care about. Oh, what happened? The whole camera went nuts. It's freaking out.
TAW says, we saw the kid, Rami Cowboy.
Well, it looks like there's a short in the cord. Glad I know that now. The window, like the bar for the window, is like right in the way. Mom, Ray, can I hear more than just you don't want Roman Reigns to win?
Well, I'm interested to see how this all pans out with, you know, the belt being up for grabs at the Rumble. I don't know. I don't know if I've been really enjoying. I'd like to see Kevin Owens perform well.
He's got a match against Dean Ambrose that night too.
Yeah, I feel like he's had a good amount of heat. He had a good amount of heat, and then, like, kind of, I don't know, felt like I wasn't into it for a while with him. Not because I don't like him, but just because they weren't, you know, there just wasn't a lot going on with him that I felt into. I'd like to see a little more with him. I do love Dean. I'd like to see Dean perform.
So here's what I don't want to happen. Same as Mom Brain. I don't want Roman Reigns to go in and stay the whole match and just win, like retain. I don't care how they get to that point. I don't want that to happen. Like, I don't want him to retain. I want him to lose the belt. I was saying to Mom Brain last night, it would be great if we know Roman Reigns is coming in at number 1. It would be great if Roman Reigns came in at number 1 and then Brock Lesnar was number 2, and then they both eliminated each other at the same time right in the beginning of the Royal Rumble. Because then you have 28 more competitors, and you know one of them is going to be the new champ. Like, you would 100% have a new champ. What do I think is going to happen? I think Roman's going to go in and last the whole time. I think Brock, I don't know where Brock, I imagine Brock will come in and then the Wyatts will eliminate him somehow, which is like how Roman Reigns survives, because the only real threat to Roman Reigns is going to be Brock Lesnar. So I think the Wyatts are the convenient scapegoat, the convenient way to get Brock Lesnar out so that Roman Reigns can survive. And then they'll set up something with Brock and the Wyatts at WrestleMania, or maybe even at Fastlane. Sadly, I really do think Roman Reigns is going to win it. Vince has got such a boner for Roman Reigns. I really think he's going to have him win it. 2 years in a row, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. And look at his performance at the last Royal Rumble. Eliminated like a dozen people. Like, they were setting it up. Like, it's going to happen. We've had like 3 Royal Rumbles in a row where like the endings have been really terrible.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen.
Yeah, like, not just like they didn't go the way we wanted, but we were also disappointed because there was a lack of showing of people we wanted to see.
Look at like how far Roman Reigns has come, though. Like, plenty of people still don't like him, but nowadays, compared to this time last year, he's much more liked now than he was back then.
Yeah.
Like, we were at the Royal Rumble last year, physically there, and like, we couldn't believe Daniel Bryan got eliminated so quickly, first off. And then Roman won it, which was so telegraphed in advance. And the place booed him like crazy. And then The Rock came out and like helped him, was like hugging him and raising his hand, and everybody booed the Rock, which never happens, you know, when he's not being a heel character. Which just goes to show how bad it was for Roman Reigns. But yeah, nowadays, you know, I could see them winning it and not worrying about, have him winning it and not worry about it so much because he's more popular now. Yeah, but you know, at least the time, you know, I think there's a good chance that Roman Reigns will win, but I can't see how they're going to get there. So part of the reason I watch wrestling is because I don't know what's going to happen. And last year's Royal Rumble, I knew exactly what was going to happen, and it did happen. This way, I think I have an idea, but there's other ways that we could get to that point, so I'm interested in seeing that. Plus, with Royal Rumble, I always love surprises. And this year, WWE is talking a lot about surprises, like they're saying. And there's always surprises. Remember, there's always surprises. And WWE hired a whole bunch of new people recently, a whole bunch of pickups from New Japan Pro Wrestling and people that used to be in TNA and stuff like that. So there's potential for some great surprises. Like I guess Austin Aries isn't going to be in the Rumble because he was brought into NXT for an episode that's going to air in March. And then there's the Bullet Club guys from New Japan Pro Wrestling, like AJ Styles and all those guys, which one of them could make their debut tomorrow in the Royal Rumble. That would be fantastic. They were playing up Jericho for the Royal Rumble. I don't know what he's going to do. Obviously, he's a bigger character in the game. You know what I would absolutely love? So they do the Royal Rumble and they have 30 people. Roman Reigns wins. And then like the countdown clock starts again at 30. And like 31 comes out and it's Triple H. And Triple H just like gets in and throws out Roman Reigns, and that's that. Because, you know, it's the Authority. They can do whatever the hell they want. That would be like a cool ending, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just to have like Triple H come out and be like, nope, you're not winning.
Yeah.
We shall see. So that's our wrestling talk. And then quickly, let me give a quick. Shellshock Prime gave us the breakdown of Royal Rumble winners since 2011. Alberto Del Rio, which I loved. Then that was in 2012 was Sheamus, 2013 was Cena, 2014 was Batista, and 2015 was Roman Reigns. I'll eliminate Batista from sucking, although at the time I thought it was a crappy person to have win. But at that time, the swell of support for Daniel Bryan was so absolutely huge that it turned into something great for WrestleMania. which wasn't their plan from the start, but that's the way it went. So I can really appreciate that. Because when you look back on the Daniel Bryan story now, yes, they didn't want Daniel Bryan to be champ, and yes, the fans helped change what happened. But when you look back at that whole story arc, wasn't that great?
Yeah.
Like, it was exciting, and you felt like anger, and you were annoyed, and like it was good. It had you tuning in each week to be like, are they gonna keep pushing Daniel Bryan out? But now it's like they're doing that to Roman Reigns, but they're trying to artificially do it, which annoys me. I said we talk about baths, so I'll give a little mention about baths, and then we got to get out of here. So since I was in high school, pretty much, and Mom Brain can vouch for this, I've always had the idea of a friendship bath. And everybody's like, that's weird, or you're pervert, or whatever. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're missing the point. A friendship, think about it. So like friends hang out in the pool together, and that's that. Or you get in a hot tub with friends, and that's that. And you just talk and hang out. I want like a friendship bath, like where you don't have to like go outside to go into a pool or in a hot tub, like something more intimate where you're like, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 people, whatever, and you're in a bathtub. And if you want to get naked, you get naked. If you want to wear a bathing suit, you wear a bathing suit. I don't care. That's not the point. The point is you get in, you relax in a nice tub, and you just BS with your friends. I think that's such a great idea. And just last night, I'm not denying I'm a pervert. I'm a pervert, sure. But this is not a perverted idea. Then last night, thanks to PC, I found out that a friendship bath exists, and it's something that other people talk about. And I put it up on my Facebook page because there's a picture. She found a picture of a bathtub that's split in 2, basically. And you face the other person, but they're in their own little bath on one side, and you're in yours on another side. And it said it's not just for couples, it's for friends, or it's for like a mother or daughter. And I was like, see, other people have this idea. It's a real thing. I felt justified. I was like, damn it, this is a real thing. I think it's so nice. Well, see, here's the important part. I love friends and I love baths. So it just makes sense for me to want to put them together. I just want to sit in a bath and talk and relax. I think baths are so conducive to like relaxing and like just talking and getting your feelings out and just taking it easy. And that's how I feel. So that's what's going on my Facebook. And apparently lots of people agree because it's gotten a lot of likes on it. It's gotten like 40-something likes last time I looked. So apparently my friendship bath idea wasn't as crazy as I thought it was. And now people are making money off of it with, I think we said the bathtub cost like $55,000 or some insane amount. But then there's other, PC found one on Amazon that was a side-by-side friendship bath. It looked like just basically a hot tub, but it was a bathtub with jets. But it was like $1,800. I was like, ooh, but it's big. So yeah, it's like a spa in your house. Exactly. And if you go on Google and search like friend bath or something like that, you'll find some amazing pictures. There's one of like 2 guys like taking a bath together, like sipping champagne, but they're like crammed into a tiny bathtub together. It's really good. All right, so there's your wrestling talk. There's your friendship bath talk. And we did lots of Nintendo talk. Good show, Mom Brain. Thanks for doing it with me.
Mom, the pleasure was all mine.
All right, if you're in the storm, stay safe, stay at home, stay warm, take some naps, play some games, hang out with friends, take a friendship bath. And we will see you next week, hopefully without any snow and with more people.
It'd be nice.
That's it. We'll see you later. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.